Shattered reality collides with haunting memories as a mind grapples with the fusion of trauma and disordered perception. This is the disorienting realm of complex post-traumatic stress disorder with secondary psychotic features, CPTSD-SP, a lesser-known, often stigmatized corner of trauma-based disorders where fear and psychosis dance in unrelenting cycles. Unlike traditional PTSD, which arises from a single traumatic event, CPTSD stems from prolonged or repeated exposure to trauma. When trauma is chronic, especially in childhood, neglect, abuse, rape, identity theft, and even parental loss, your brain doesn't just remember it, it rewires around it. The default becomes fear. Sleep becomes unsafe. Reality bends to protect you from reliving the truth. When psychotic symptoms emerge, the condition intensifies. Hallucinations, delusions, paranoia, and severe dissociation can fracture a person's sense of reality. The trauma-psychosis nexus, how the mind reacts to unbearable pain. CPTSD-SP doesn't appear in a vacuum. It evolves when the mind, worn thin by years of survival, starts protecting itself through disconnection from reality. The result? A cascade of symptoms. Flashbacks that morph into full sensory reliving. Hypervigilance so intense it becomes paranoia. Voices echoing from past abusers. Hallucinations that are less random and more replays of trauma. Delusions rooted in real-life betrayals or violations. One survivor shared, "I had a psychotic break last year. My psychiatrist said it started from extreme dissociation, my brain shutting down, replacing reality with a trauma script that felt real. I kept seeing my ex-boyfriend around every corner, even though he was already incarcerated for drugging and violently raping me." When trauma meets triumph. What makes CPTSD-SP so unique is that the psychosis isn't arbitrary. It's trauma-based, symbolic, and tied directly to the body's memory of danger. Delusion of surveillance. One person developed an unshakable belief that everyone knew about my past and I was living the Truman Show. It's like everybody had a script and I was criticized in the shower. Everything was under surveillance. Auditory hallucinations. Another survivor hears the voice of their abuser at night whispering death threats, even though they're safe in bed. I wake up, see shadows moving, and believe I'm in a library, the only place I ever felt safe, but now even that morphs into a trap. Paranoia triggered by innocuous objects. A dirty glass becomes a trauma trigger. Why? Because it was the very object used to slip a drug during a past assault. Now, even a trusted friend offering water feels suspicious. I believed my stepmom was trying to poison me. I ran away and stayed at a friend's house. Stalking trauma relived. After being harassed by an ex, one woman became convinced her workplace hired a private investigator to follow her. Every car became suspect. I changed routes daily. My rib injury didn't matter. My reality was hijacked by fear. As one case study notes, almost all my delusions and paranoia were trauma-related. When I used substances, they got worse. Now I stay clean, ground myself, and check in with my therapist. When the voices tiptoe in or visions blur, I say, this is a recollection, not a prophecy, and I keep moving forward. These perceptions are filtered through trauma-shaped lenses, formed in the crucible of relentless stress, fitful sleep, betrayals, violations, abandonments, and brushes with death. What looks like psychosis is often survival with the volume turned up. In that light, CPTSD-SP is an adaptive system running on hypervigilance. How do you empower a resilient mind? Healing from CPTSD-SP demands more than just talk therapy and empty platitudes. It's a full body, full brain reintegration process. Treatment plans often involve a blend of trauma-informed and holistic strategies. Number 1, trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy. This structured approach helps patients challenge the distorted beliefs that arise from both trauma and psychosis. Think of it as reality checking, reparenting, and reframing, rewriting the trauma story so it doesn't run the show. 2, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. EMDR assesses trauma stored in the nervous system. With guided eye movements, patients reprocess distressing memories until the emotional charge lessens. Many report a reduction in flashbacks and even psychotic symptoms afterward. Grounding and body-based tools. When trauma pulls someone out of their body, grounding techniques bring them back in. Tried, tested, and true methods include 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 census game, walking barefoot in nature, tapping or emotional freedom techniques, holding ice cubes or sleeping under weighted blankets. 4, vigorous physical exercise. Movement is medicine for the trauma-wired brain. Engaging in heart-pumping activity helps regulate the nervous system, discharge stored fear, and sharpen focus. It also boosts dopamine, the brain's natural mood stabilizer, supporting clarity and balance. 5, meditation and breath work. Trauma-informed breath work is sunlight for the storm-tossed nervous system. Gentle inhales whisper safety to the body. Long exhales carry the wreckage out to sea. Practices like yoga anchor you to the present, where calm rises like the morning sun. 6, positive affirmations and daily anchoring. Repeating statements like, I am safe now, my trauma is in the past, not the present, or I am always protected, helps rewrite outdated narratives. Pair this with a benign routine like drinking tea at 6:30 a.m. or journaling before bedtime, and you start teaching your brain a new language of safety. The role of hallucinations in CPTSD-SP. Hallucinations in CPTSD with psychotic features aren't slapdash noises. They're echoes. Unlike the nonsensical nature of hallucinations and schizophrenia, these experiences are often rich with meaning and rooted in memory. They tend to mirror real-life trauma, represent unspoken fears or unresolved pain, only appear during emotional distress or extreme stress. For example, someone who survived trafficking may see shadowy figures or hear disturbing voices of former captors during flashbacks. These aren't signs of absurdity. They're signals from a nervous system still standing guard. Understanding this link, trauma speaking in symbols, shadows, and sounds, empowers survivors to meet themselves with compassion. Recognizing this is my trauma speaking, not reality, reframes the moment. It's a mind processing a past that still feels present. And naming that's a powerful step towards healing. Living with CPTSD-SP, from surviving to thriving. The path to recovery is a process and relapses may occur, but CPTSD-SP is just a chapter in your story, not the whole book. Let's rewrite the narrative around CPTSD-SP with understanding, compassion, and truth. You are responding brilliantly to a world that may look like madness, but is often a memory. Your symptoms are survival strategies. Call a spade, that's courage in crisis. You're a strong survivor, living with a brain that learned how to protect you in ways most people will never understand. And healing isn't a question, it's a promise.